Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. Y'all know what it is. It's first formation, so come on and fall in with us. It's your boy Trey, my man Bishop. It's a Thursday. Bishop, what's good with you, bro?
Hey man, what's going on? WGO, WGO, what's going on? We all know it is first formation, man. It's what is it? Weekend Eve. It's Thursday.
Weekend
We
Eve.
one day away from the weekend. Yeah, weekend Eve. We one day away from the weekend. It's a Thursday. Hopefully everybody's hump day was good. Man, let's get into it. Trey, it is sports. We are a few days away from the play-in for the NBA playoffs. So, and then baseball starts today
Mm-hmm.
with games
Let's
kicking off. I think they
go,
got like
big
12 games.
blue wrecking crew. Let's get it.
No, let's go. Let's go Yanks. Let's go Yanks. You know what I'm saying? And my second team, either the Yanks or the Houston Astros. And you know why
You
the
know what?
Astros, bro.
You,
You know why
you
the
know what?
Astros.
You
They
know
got
what?
colors, man. They
It's
got
it's
colors.
it's it's funny you say that about the Houston Astros, right? So of course, if what's going on, of course, if you haven't been in Iraq in the last 4 or 5 years, Houston was hit with allegations in reference
They were.
to
Good morning,
in
Freddie.
reference to stealing signals and
Don't
stuff.
start it, Freddie.
Let's go, Freddie. Tell them what it
Don't
is.
start that,
Let's
Freddie.
go. You know how we do. You know how we do, Freddie. You know how we do.
Here we
You know
go with the
how we do,
LA
baby.
side.
Let's
No, we
go.
not with the LA
Let's
side.
go. Big
And he got his
blue.
little blue on. He got his little blue
Big
on
blue.
today. LA,
Yes.
let's
Yes. Let's
go.
go. Let's go. Big blue record crew. So it's so of course, like we said, the Houston Astros were hit with allegations not too long ago in reference to supposedly they were stealing signs, and then of course,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
from them factions or from that team, some of the players went on to, or even one, go play with other teams, or two, go to even manage other teams, in which they
Right.
took allegedly that same tactic, and it's somewhere in there that someone they got caught. Or someone got caught, and the allegations
Mhm.
came back. So now, interesting enough, what's going on is, oh, you know what it is, Freddie. You know what I'm saying? Hub City stand up. Y'all know what it is. CPT,
Here we go,
AK
bro.
47 in this
What's
tool.
this, boys in the hood? What
Don't
we
make
doing
me act
right
a
now? I
fool.
mean, what's this, boys in the hood? I
Yay,
mean,
yay. We
set it
push
off.
sports
What we
like
doing,
weight.
dog?
We push sports like weight.
Oh, we got a Red Sox fan in here. We got a Red Sox fan going in here. All right, AP, I see you. We got Yanks. We got the Red Sox. We got the Houston Astros. Let's go. But go ahead, Trey.
So yeah, so basically what's going on is they're trying a new instrument or device called from pitch.com, or I forgot what it is. I called it Mansfield, the GM, the correction, the commissioner for the MLB, in which they're
Mm-hmm.
trying a new device in which is going to basically your own is able to communicate between the pitcher and the catcher. So they're alleviating no more hand signals or anything like that. It's a device with a secret frequency that is able to, communicate between the pitcher and the catcher. So the pitcher and the catcher basically look at the device, and the catcher is sending what he thinks, the pitcher is sending it back, and then of course if they agree to it, then they know what the pitch is, and then the
Really?
pitcher, yeah. So as a
I
part
feel
of
like that. And they've already tried this out, or this is something they're
I
trying
guess
out
they've
right
been
now
trying it out. I think they've been trying it out
during
during
the
the
off season.
spring. Yeah, during the
Yeah,
spring,
spring
and
training.
so they're going
Yeah,
to move forth with it during the regular season. They said it takes about the same amount of time to
to do a regular hand signal.
yeah, the regular hand signals and stuff like that. So, and it's
Hmm.
secure, so no one, only they know
Hmm.
what the signal is. So and so you know how in football you wear a sleeve to with the
Hmm.
plays.
Hmm. Uh
Similar,
huh. Uh huh.
similar. They were the
Coach.
pitcher,
What do you call him?
the
Coach. We call him coach. I forget. There's a name for it, but I know what
yeah,
you're talking about.
but yeah, basically, so it's the same thing when you pull it up and see his pitches, punch his pitch in, and get to
Hmm.
the catcher punch backs, and if they both agree on it, then of course he knows, the catcher know what's coming, and so
Okay.
it's interesting, and that was the first thing I thought. Anthony, can you hack that, or can they intercept the signal or something like that? And from the understanding from what they was talking about, that is a secret frequency. Of course, you know in the military they use frequency hop to
Hmm.
keep
Hmm.
it from knowing. So I would presume that there's going to be some of the same the same technology to
Okay.
avoid that. So I look
That's
forward to
hot.
seeing
I
that
think
in
that,
your
yeah.
same.
Do you think it's gonna change the game, Trey? Do you think
I
that's
think
gonna make it? Is it gonna be an advantage for the offense, or a disadvantage for the defense? Like,
and so I think it's going to be as long as it keeps in the same time it doesn't throw off. I think it's going to be probably another innovative situation to where it
hmm
helps. Of course, they're calling it the anti pitch stealing system. So
wow,
you
they
can't
gave
see
it
it.
a name and everything.
Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, it's too late because they robbed us, Bishop.
Right. I
Houston
heard.
robbed
I
us.
heard. Yeah, I
Houston
heard.
robbed
I
us, man.
heard.
But it
Yeah.
is what it is. We have been dominant, just like
But didn't
most. Correction. Let me
didn't they
stop
take
where
it?
I'm going.
Didn't they take it back though? Didn't they take
No,
that
no, they
trophy
said
back?
it didn't anything happen. One of these people, the players faced.
It's an asterisk by it though, right? There is
Yeah,
an
I think there's an
asterisk by it.
asterisk. I think there is an
Yeah, I think
asterisk,
it's
but
an
of course, I
asterisk by
mean,
it.
I'm not worried about an asterisk if I'm walking around with the title. Like I'm okay, it's an
Yeah. And
asterisk
I
by
got
it.
the ring.
Yeah, I got the
So
rings.
yeah,
Like at the end of the
yeah,
day,
for
you can't.
sure.
That's
Yeah.
no different. Like Reggie Bush winning the Heisman, and they try to take it from him. I still win the Heisman. Like at the end of the day, I was the best player in the NCAA.
At that time, yes, yeah, facts.
Yes.
I'm with you. I'm with
So yes, you have that. So interesting enough, that is going to be. But like, yeah, Anthony, it's one of those situations where I don't think they're making it where it can be hacked or where the signal can't be stolen, or for the most part, the plays can't be stolen. And I just want to see how it plans out. I watch baseball. I'm not a big time base correction baseball watcher, but I'm a huge Dodgers fan, and yeah, it'd be interesting to see, of course. Or like Bishop was saying, he reps the Yankees, and you rep the Red Sox. Who else we got there? What team you repping? Who you watching for 162 games as we get into the trek for the hunt in October, and see how it goes. And of course, shout out to the Atlanta Braves for winning the national championship. Before we're in the championship last year, which I'm cool with. I have stock in the Braves, so of course I was like, "Hey, let's go." But in any case, as always, Dodgers on mine. Gotta represent Cali. Excuse me. This pollen is killing. I ain't had allergies, but this pollen is no joke out here. Um, what else we got? What else we got? So of course, as Bishop was talking about in NBA action, unfortunately,
Oh, I
uh,
think your boy went 5-1 last night. You know, I do what I can do when I can do it. You know what I'm saying?
you know what? The pettiness. I did not did I or did I not tell you the pettiness?
You did.
Did I or
You
did not?
did.
I did not tell
You
you the
did.
pettiness. That
You did.
is so lame, bruh. So lame. So
You did.
lame.
You
So
did.
lame. That you know, what I'm
Yep.
saying that has basically solidified what what we thought it was. What's
Yep.
good, Lestanding? What's good, bruh? When I looked up and seen, and once I seen a box score, I was like, let me go take a look at this because I was like, Clippers is running through. I
They
was like,
were.
the Clippers is running through
Well,
Phoenix.
about
I was like, let
20
me go
some
see.
20 some
And
points
I
at one
looked up.
time.
I was like, wow, really?
Yeah.
Y'all
Yeah.
ain't play. Y'all didn't play in y'all played against the Lakers, but you didn't play against the Clippers. The game before you didn't play the game before. You said the place you played the Lakers, and then you played after the Clippers. I was like, the pettiness. That's what's up.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what's
Oh
up.
man. I'm just yeah, man. It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
That
That's
and
the only
that's
game I lost too. That's the game I lost too. That's crazy because that's the only game I lost. I wanted.
heavy is
I
the
looked at
crap.
them. I was like, man. I said, oh, I might have went 6 for 6, but no. I said, yep, the
If I was
pettiness.
if I was LeBron,
Mm-hmm.
I would put a it's that would drive me like the conversation we was having last night on our call. That would
Yeah.
drive me. Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
If anything, that is going to be the reason for that is going to be the bane of whatever happens the following year. Like I'm
Yeah.
thinking straight kill mode all day, all year long. I can't wait to get back to to get back to the season. That is, bruh, that was
What up,
horrible. I was
Key? Good
like,
morning.
that's
Good morning. Good morning. How you
I was
doing,
like,
man?
you
How you
can't be kidding me, man. I was like, that's what it is, y'all. So you just looked at like both of y'all play, run amok on us, send us packing. We don't even get a chance, and then the next day you chill.
Yeah.
When you just chill the day before, that goes to show. But it is what it is. The Lakers are a professional basketball team, and they had
They are.
they had an opportunity, and it just came down. So if we took care of business like we were supposed to do, we wouldn't have been in that position. It wouldn't even have mattered.
Now that's true fact there. That right there, you can't deny. What's good,
But
Steve? What's good? What's good? How you doing this morning?
but that was grimy in my opinion. They did us dirty.
Yeah.
Out. And you know
Yes,
Russell
indeed.
Westbrook talk after all the
But
talks, Russell said he wants to stay in LA.
I don't think he ever wanted to leave, bro. I think the fans wanted him to leave. I don't think Russ ever wanted him to leave. I don't
Yeah,
think
he's where he want
Russ
to
has
be.
never.
Yeah. He's home.
Yeah, Russ
Yeah.
has never. Yeah, he's at home, like you said. Yeah, Russ ain't never said or mentioned anything about him wanting to be up out of LA. Like you said, that's home for him. So I can't see him wanting to leave. Um, and then they moved from Russell being removed from LA to KD. I mean AD. So I don't know. I don't know. But for
Yeah,
me, in my
supposedly
opinion,
Chicago's gonna make a push for him
right, right,
to bring him home.
right, right, exactly. And for me,
Let's go. Give it
I feel like
AD and some picks for
Browns.
DeMar. I'm with it.
Oh, you want AD for Demar DeRozan? Oh, that's what you want. Oh,
Hmm.
okay. That might be. I don't know if Chicago will. They give him DeRozan though. The way he balling, that's a
They got Levine.
huge. They do, but he ain't. Levine ain't Demar right now. Demar hitting on all cylinders, bro. He ain't Demar. But yeah, that could be possible. That could definitely be possible. I could probably see that. That could be definitely possible. And I feel like a lot of DeRozan was about to be a Laker, but LeBron wanted Westbrook. Ooh,
Yeah, that's
really?
what happened.
Ooh, really? Is that what happened? Stan saying that's not going to happen though.
Anything
Yeah,
could
it's gonna
happen.
be hard for Chicago to let Levine go. Russ was trying to get his clothing line started. That's why he wasn't balling. Is that what it was? That's where you go with it. He trying to work on his clothing line, his special type of clothing. It's something, man. It's something. But I mean, I can see that trade though. That's yeah. Levine over there with AD. Yeah. Hmm. That might be something. And then Russ, um,
LeBron
Demar,
and DeMar.
and LeBron. Hmm. Hmm. Would that
We
be a
bring
new
in
big
a
three?
bringing another big man,
Hmm.
middle of the road or something like that. Who could? Yeah,
Hmm. Hmm. It's very possible. But anywho,
I'm up for it.
of course you are. Of course you are. It looks as though the Mavericks beat the Pistons on the road last night, 131 to 113. Of course, Luca is still playing.
Mm-hmm.
I know Trey and
Still,
I myself have spoke
still
about.
doing damage.
Yeah, we spoke about these last few games. Being I think the last game is Sunday of the regular season. If any of
Yeah.
the superstars were going to continue to play. However, I do know that the commissioner is unhappy of
Mm.
not of the superstars that aren't playing, like
Mm-hmm.
the CP3s and the Devin Bookers who didn't play last night. So, um, yeah. But Luca did play. He still performed, blowing out the Pistons, 131 for 113. What do you got his stats, Trey?
Yes, of course. Luka Doncic, 26 points, 8 rebounds, 14 assists, 21 points from Jalen Bronson, 12 points apiece from Josh Green and Marquise Chris, 13 points from Dorian Finney-Smith. Bishop, did you see the crazy pass at the Dime?
Yes. That he threw in the corner for the
Yeah,
open
and
threes.
knocked down by
Yes.
Dorian Swift in the corner. The
Yeah.
Pistons, however, was led by Kay Cunningham, one of the rookie sensations this year. 7 rebounds,
Mm-hmm.
9 assists, 11 points from Killian Hayes, 14 points from Saban Lee, 19 points from center Isaiah Stewart. Jamarco Pickett, 10 points, 14 points from Braxton Key. It was a good game to a distant. Kay Cunningham, like we said, it has what I have enjoyed is watching Cade Cunningham come into his where he's currently is. So
Mm-hmm.
you show like glimpse of what they talked about with him coming out of OSU.
Mm-hmm.
And now you starting to see it because at first I was like, oh, he ain't, saying he ain't that fire. Of course, the other players like Jalen Green and saying they're just all coming into their own. Of course, they're talking
Mm-hmm.
about Scotty Barnes from Toronto is going to be the rookie of the year. I beg to differ, but I mean, possibly even between him or even Mobley. But of course, with even Mobley being out because of his injury, I think Scotty, if he
Mm-hmm.
continues to play, is going to be probably a good look for him. Of course, like you say, the Mavericks are currently 50-30. The Pistons 23-57. Bishop. Additionally, the Mavericks have an opportunity to take the third seed in the West as they are currently
Mm.
tied with Golden State in those
Right.
standings. But of course, we get to that before we move on to in the NFL. Of course,
Mm.
like you said, it was a 6 game slate last night. A game that did not give us what we was looking for. Bishop, the Chicago Boston game. Um, Remember, we thought that was going to be the game of
Too
the night.
close. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Boston wasn't playing, bro.
Oh yeah,
Boston.
Boston, man.
Well,
They.
Boston is being,
I'm,
I
I'm
told
kind
y'all,
of.
Boston is being Boston, bro. I'm sitting here, I'm trying to tell y'all, man. People, excuse me, I won't even say people sleeping on Boston no more, but what I will say, man, y'all not recognizing Boston. Boston is balling out of control, bro. These boys out here, man. Tatum,
They keep on going these win
Jalen
streaks. Nine of
Brown,
11 in the 9 games in the last 9 wins in the last 11 games. They keep on
bro.
breaking the streak and then they come right back. Like
And
they're
right,
consistent.
bro, 117 to 94. Al Horford with 17 points. Jason Tatum with 16. But Jalen Brown comes in and knocks down 25 points along with Daniel East with 15. Bro, come on, man. The Celtics, man, I'm telling y'all, they scary, bro.
They
It's a
are.
scary team, bro.
I'll
They
give
are
you that. Yeah.
scary, scary team. What did the Bulls put up? Because we were
Uh,
just talking about these
the
Bulls.
Bulls basically, of course, 10 points from Kobe White, 10 points from Tristan Thompson, 16 points from DeMar DeRozan, 13 points from Nikola Vucevic, and what was surprising, Bishop, Zach LaVine, 7 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists for a microwave scorer. 9 point. It just wasn't enough at the end of the day, and
Does that
it
say
seemed like
a lot though, Trey? Because we were just talking about DeMar and we were just talking about Zach, and then we was talking about AD going over there for DeMar. And
mhm.
DeMar only put up 16 points against the Boston Celtics, as well as Zach LaVine only put up 7.
it
Ugh.
it definitely was it definitely was it seems like they just wasn't like the Chicago Bulls I think
And
are
this was at
currently
home, right? This
one.
was on their own court,
They
right?
were at home. They were at
Yeah.
home. It seems like Chicago has dropped in I don't know, they're not doing
Appreciate you, Alfred.
it's not yeah it seems like something's going on there a little. I think they're kind of lost it. So someone said, I think it was Ron, stated how they it's a little off for them because they don't have Lonzo Ball
Right.
as their point, and they're not going to have him as Lonzo has been
Right.
shut down for the season. He's not going to play.
Yes.
He had a setback from the recovery in his surgery from his meniscus tear in his knee. So he's basically not going to, you're not going to see Alonzo till next season at this
Yeah, he's
point,
done for the
seemingly.
season.
So it's just one of those things to where they're they're out of sorts, I guess. It's like Lamar. I think DeRozan is doing all he can. Like we just said, you talked about yesterday. He's putting up those numbers with over 30 points a game. Uh, X amount of games for over 30 points a game. He dropped 40 the night before. He comes
Right.
back. He comes back tonight and he drops
Got
16.
16. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
they got 2 games left
Is he
in the
streaky? Yeah, Are
season.
we are we considering him streaky, or we just say he just had a bad night? I think it's just a
I think
bad
he had
night.
a bad night because I
Yeah.
mean, you got like you said, he put consistently has been doing his thing. Well, at
Yes.
one point, you got to think he was up for MVP, but then after the All Star break, the Bulls kind of start. They was already dwindling, starting to come back to earth before the break. After the break, they haven't been the same team. What you said, they're only
Mm-hmm.
10 games above 500 at this point. They went from being the number 1 seed to being the 3 seed. Now I think they're at the 5th seed.
Mm-hmm.
So it definitely, like you said, it's a lot. 2 games left, in which they have an opportunity to right the ship before and get a little break because they're not in the play in, and then go from there. So
Mm-hmm.
we will see. Of course, when we go over the playoff picture, we'll be able to give a better synopsis of what it is or who they potentially be playing up against.
Right.
Uh, before I leave that one game for the end, of course, like we thought. Now, what we did think was going to happen is that Utah was not going to play around with the Oklahoma City Thunder with a 36-point drubbing.
Thrashing.
Yes, what was the Thunder's stats?
The Thunder stats were the Jalen Ward had 23 points. We had Galas George K. I'm gonna call him George K. with
Okay.
11 points. Isaiah Roby had 18. We had Linda Waters with 10, and we had Jeremiah Robinson Earl with 18 for the Thunder. Unfortunately, they still came up short. Trey, what did the Jazz come out on with stats?
Of course, Rudy Gobert, after dropping 21 and 20 for yesterday, he came back with a 20 and 10, still a double double, one assist. Baljan Bogdanovic, 27 points, 5 rebounds, no assists, 18 points, 1 rebound, 10 assists from Jordan Clarkson. Hassan Whiteside, 15 points, 11 rebounds. Rudy Gay, 12 points, 14 points from Daniel House in the game in which Donovan Mitchell did not play, but obviously you see he was not needed.
You didn't need
Uh,
them.
yeah,
You didn't need them.
They took care. Utah took care of business, improving to 48 and 32, and the under 24 and 56 as they go into the playoffs with a win. 2 games left, of course, initially for them. Of course, additionally, as we thought, the next game, Atlanta did exactly what we thought we should do. Ice Burr Trey was in the building. He dropping what did he drop? He dropped 30 points, 11 rebounds, 11 assists, 2 points, 18 points from Bogdanovic, 26 and 10 from Danilo Gallinari, 10 points from DeAndre Hunter, Quint Capella, 19 and 7. Kevin Huerter, 5 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. As the Hawks gave Washington fits, winning, like I said, 118, 103, 35, and 45 for the Washington Wizards. The Hawks 42 and 38. Bishop, who was the leading scorer for the Wizards?
You know it was that K Porzingis, man. He dropped 26 points, 18 rebounds, 4 assists. Then you
The
had Kispert with 12 points, and then you had Gafford with 12. And that was pretty much the gist of it, man. No one else was in double digits for the Wizards. Porzingis was pretty much carrying the entire team, trying to get the win over Atlanta in Atlanta. However, they did come up short by 15 points. My question to you, Trey, is Porzingis what we thought he was? Is he planning? Does he need help out there in Washington? In
So,
Washington for the Washington Wizards to be a team in the future, or does he just need to go somewhere else? Even though we know he just left um, Dallas to go to the Wizards.
so when I
So,
look, at it, that's a good point you bring up, Bishop, because it's like when you look at
mhm,
it, we what we lost and where we tend to real forget is that Brady Bill is still in Washington. He's just injured and recovering from
that's
his
right,
injury.
Bradley Beal. I forgot
So
about that.
Bradley,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm sorry, not Brady, Bradley. So Bradley Bill is still there. So when Bill comes back, you might have saying
yeah,
when he comes back and plays with the
forgot
Kuzmas,
about
the
that.
KCPs, he's probably going to be they're probably going to be a problem. Like Anthony's saying, they'll be good. And so what you got to take
Yeah, I
into
forgot about
consideration
that.
also is, and I was looking at the NBA with Sam Mitchell and Isaiah. I mean Sam Mitchell, Steve Smith last night,
Mm-hmm,
and what it was realized was exactly what I thought it was. Porzingis in Dallas just wasn't a good fit.
mm-hmm,
You got 2 guys that consider themselves to be the stars, and one doesn't want to relent to the other. Now, and what you have in Dallas is everyone knows it's Luka's team. Everyone
mm-hmm.
knows Luka's going to do what he's going to do. Let him rock, and you just saying you get it how you live. Seemingly, Porzingis wasn't on that. He was
Right,
like, I'm gonna start too. Saying, hey, feed me, and saying
right.
it just wasn't a natural fit for them. So now when you come back and now you see Porzingis is somewhere where he's the centerpiece, for
Mm-hmm,
now, it's working. Like you see Washington gets here and there, like you just said, 26, 18, and 4.
mm-hmm.
Although there wasn't anyone else besides Kispert and and Gafford that had double figures, but you had
Five
five other
people
players in with
and
nine
nine at
points.
9 points.
Yeah,
Yeah,
five no,
Hachimura, Caldwell
yeah.
Pope. Yeah, you
Saransky, you got
Saturansky. Like
yeah,
yeah, five people
Adichie,
had nine
like
nine
five people
points.
had 9 points. So
Yeah,
had you gave a couple of more minutes, you might have had
right.
3 or 4 people that was in double figures.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, 5 to 6 people in double figures.
Right.
So
Right.
obviously, it seems like they have a good chemistry, and they're going to be give it a year when Bill comes back and see
Right.
what him and and Korzingis could do,
Right.
and maybe it might they might make a difference. So, like Anthony said, I
They
think they
could.
would be good. Uh,
Right.
Shout out to our frat brother Spec. That's his squad. He's a diehard
Yeah. Yeah.
Washington Wizards fan.
Wizards. Yeah.
So basically that's where it lays. So I think it remains to be said done, but I think they're going to be okay
All
at the
right.
end of it. Yeah, not saying
Right.
they're going to light the league on fire, but I
Like the
think
legal about. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I think they're going to
And
be
especially
fine.
if they can get some key components in the draft when it comes up, some key players. I don't know where they sit in regards to the draft pick, because like you said, what's their record? They're what? They're definitely
25 and
not.
30. Yeah,
They probably in the top
uh,
10 in the
35 and
draft.
45.
35, 45. Yeah, my bad. So they're probably in the top 10 in the draft, I would think. Um, Behind, of course, probably the Pistons and the Clippers, not the Clippers,
Yeah,
the Thunder and something like
the
that.
Thunder and stuff
But
like that. Yeah,
yeah. But they could probably get some key players probably if they are in the top 10 in the draft, which could help Deal and Porzingis. Hopefully help them in the upcoming season. But yeah, they fall to the Hawks 118-103.
of course. Two more games left. We'll
Mm-hmm.
save the best from last night for last, I guess. But the Clippers surprised me as we talked about when we first came on.
Yeah,
As I
bro. This is the
discussed the
only game I
pettiness,
lost, y'all.
in which was on clear display last night
Mm-hmm.
as the Phoenix Suns traveled to LA to take on the Los Angeles Clippers, who are currently 40-40 at 500, holding on to the in the play-in. Phoenix 63-17.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the Suns was led by Ishmael Wainwright's 20. Like, who the hell is Ishmael Wainwright? Like, seriously, the
I don't know who
pettiness.
that is. I ain't never even
Ishmael
heard of this dude.
Wainwright in 25
Drop
minutes,
20.
20 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 16 points from Aaron Holiday, 11 points from Torrey Craig, 13 points from Cameron Payne, 14 from Bismack Biyombo, Cameron Johnson 7, Mikael Bridges 9, and Shamet 8, with JaVale McGee with 6 points, 5 rebounds, and 1 assist. But obviously, if you're listening, if you know, well, then you know there are some people missing. Two people to be
Obviously.
exact.
Key
The
people.
top two
Oh, wait,
people.
is it two or three? Hold on. Somebody else
Three,
mentioned two.
three, three,
Three. I was
three.
about to say because
Yeah,
I didn't hear. I
three.
didn't see him either. Yeah, he three
Yeah.
people.
So three
Three
people
people missing.
missing.
Three key people. Yep.
So let me lay the groundwork for y'all. A couple of nights
Trey, I'm
ago.
saying, so, hey, just so y'all know, Trey's a little bit salty about this.
Yes,
About the three
this
guys
is
in which
grind.
he
This
was
is
about to
dirty,
mention.
man. This is
He's a
dirty.
little salty, so
So
y'all bear with him.
a couple of nights ago, we witnessed the Phoenix Suns lose. And
Oh,
did they lose that night or did they win? I think they lost. They lost. Matter of fact, was it to Oklahoma's OKC, right?
what night you talking about? The night before they played
The
the
night
Lakers,
before they
right?
played the Lakers, yeah.
Yeah, let me look. I'm gonna
I
hold
think
on.
they
I
lost to
think it was
OKC. So I wish
hold on,
against
let me
that
look.
so
You
we
go
can
ahead and
be
look.
exact. We don't want to give y'all any
Yeah,
misinformation.
hold on.
They played a game in which I believe they
Yeah,
lost. But
well, I'm about to.
it's not even about the fact of losing. They played a game in which CP3, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and I would even be willing to think that DeAndre Ayton did not play in that game.
They lost to the Grizzlies,
They lost to the Grizzlies. Okay, they lost to the
122 to
Grizzlies,
114.
where they did not play their top three players for the most part. Then they have a game against the Lakers. Woe and behold, all of a sudden, Aiden can play, Chris Paul can play, Devin Booker can play. LeBron isn't playing. AD
Oh,
and
I'm
Russ are
sorry.
playing.
You You're absolutely right. I'm sorry, that wasn't the game I'm talking about. They lost to the Thunder. They did lose
They
117 to the one to 96 to the Thunder. They did. You're right.
a blowout against
On
the
Monday. On
Thunders
Monday.
on Monday. Here you come to Tuesday.
They played the
I
Lakers.
mean here you come to Tuesday. They play the Lakers.
No, it
All
was
of a
Wednesday.
sudden,
No, it was
or
Tuesday. It was
Wednesday, Tuesday.
Tuesday. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was Tuesday they played the Lakers.
Tuesday they play LA, the Los Angeles
Mm-hmm.
Lakers in Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, Chris Paul, the whole gang's there. Like everyone's there all of a sudden. So I sat back and watched as they sit up and bounce this out the playoffs. Okay, you know what I'm saying? You come a LeBron-less Lakers team, but y'all show up, pull up. Y'all don't want us to get any opportunity or any leeway. They were scared, Bishop. That's what it was. It was scared. But they pull up, and then lo and behold, okay, I'm thinking like, all right. So I'm sitting back and I'm watching, I'm looking. I was like, okay, I'm gonna sit back and see, are they gonna play against the Clippers? And then I look up, the Clippers at
Nope.
one point were up by 30 points.
They were.
And I'm thinking like they can't, or 20 points, whatever it was. I'm like, yo,
Something like that, yeah.
this they can't be playing. So I sit up and pulled out my little handy dandy handheld device, or AKA iPhone 13. Shout out to Apple. So I pull out my device and I go look at the score. I pull up the box scores, and lo and behold, 0 minutes for DeAndre Ayton, 0 minutes for Chris Paul, 0 minutes for
Three
Devin Booker. The
facts.
disrespect and pettiness that they show, that they presume to us. Why all the hate? Why must we do
Oh,
this?
this man is salty,
Why
boy.
is it?
He is
Why is it that we
salty.
have to? Why you say this is y'all chose violence? That's what I feel. Y'all chose
He said,
violence.
"Y'all chose
Y'all chose violence for next year. That's what you did. You chose violence. And if everyone that is on that Lakers squad that plays next year doesn't feel a certain type of way, especially when it comes to Phoenix, you need to go. Matter of fact, you should still feel, even if you're not in LA next year, you're playing somewhere else. Anytime you play the Suns, you should keep that same energy. Like, you know what?
Same
I
energy.
remember they did this to us. I remember. I ain't forgot. I remember when y'all used to walk around with them shoes with the little spinny things on it. I remember that. I ain't forgot.
Man, I mean,
But
so to the Phoenix Suns defense, they only lost without those three. They only lost by four, mind you. They still only lost by four to the Clippers, with the top scorer being Norman Powell with 24 points. They had one, two, three, four, five, six, 7 people in double digits for the Suns. Well, like I said, Norman Powell with 24. We had Isaiah Hartenson and Mann with 10 points. We have PG 13 with 19. Reggie Jackson with 10. Zubac with 13 points, 11 rebounds, and then we have Robert Covington with 11 points. Again, they only came up 4 points short. My question to you, Trey, now that we see PG 13, Paul George back into the lineup, and just imagine if
Kawhi.
Kawhi Leonard was back in the lineup. We know they're right now they're sitting at 40-40 as their record. Do you feel as though that the Clippers would have been a contention team if they'd have had both Paul George as well as Kawhi sooner than later?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, no doubt. That's what it looks like. It definitely would. I think PG and Kawhi definitely make up or a tandem, in which would have been a
Mm-hmm.
problem. So I'm not sure where their order would be, but they probably wouldn't be in the play in,
Right.
or they would be they or
We're
they
talking about the West too now. Yeah.
excuse
Speaking
me.
of which, we
Yes,
got West.
yeah.
Right.
So it probably would have been definitely probably a tighter race.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at it, even when you take a so someone like maybe San Antonio wouldn't be a team which we talking about because you would
Mm-hmm.
have to make room. So or someone
Or
would
the
be pushed
Clippers.
down or pushed out because I
Mm-hmm.
mean technically the Clippers are in, but now you might
Right.
have a little different story because you got to think about the games in which the Clippers lost against some of those teams that might have changed the whole dynamic of things to where the Clippers might, instead of being at this point 400 and 500, we
Mm-hmm.
might have been looking at them in the 50s. So which is 10 more games, which they would depend on where they would have got those games from. I'm sure some of them would have came from the Western Conference, in which it would have been a different story. So again, the Kawhi should be back next year, if not later on this year. I don't know. They haven't said if they're shutting them down the rest of the year or not. And then when you say that, you got to think it's other teams too. We got the Dame Lillards in
Mm.
Portland, uh,
Right.
Zion Williamson in New Orleans. Um,
Along with CJ. Yeah.
yeah, now with CJ, yeah. So you know, what I'm saying then you look at Dame doesn't have CJ, but now
Right.
Zion does, and
Right.
obviously you see there's been a difference in the play and what they're doing in New Orleans because with them
Mm.
making it into the play in, and now
Right.
you know, what I'm saying they have a chance to make some noise in the potentially the play in and the playoffs if they get in. So,
Hmm.
but yes, I definitely think it would have been a different storyline
Yes.
in the
And you
Clipper
did say
land.
they're in the play-in right now.
Yeah,
They did make the play-in, right? Yeah.
they're in the
Right.
play
That's
in
what I thought.
currently. Yes.
Yeah. Then for our last game of the night, of course, we got to talk about my Brooklyn Nets. Stand up, Brook. Hey, as my boys 110-98 or in MSG Madison Square Garden takes out the Knicks. Of course, you know the battle of the New Yorks, the boroughs. You know what I'm saying? Big shouts out to New York. Stand up. But this game was worrying me for a minute because I'm not gonna lie, the Knicks were up by at least 21 points at one time, and then
Uh huh.
that dynamic duo of KD and Kyrie, them boys said it's time to take over. They looked at each other and did the Wonder Twins tap, and they took over the game. KD with 32 points, a triple double, 32 points, 11 assists, and 10 rebounds. Bruce Brown had five. Kyrie Irving had 24 points, seven assists, eight boards, was close to a triple double himself. Seth Curry with 15. Patty Mills with 15. What, Patty? Boy, you woke up. And that was pretty much it. We had four players in double digits, and that was enough to take out the Knicks. The Knicks. Trey, what was the Knicks? Dang.
Of
What was the
course,
Knicks? Did they only play like eight people, didn't
yeah. They
they?
played. Yeah,
They played the bare minimum.
they only had an
Oh,
eight man rotation last night. Of course, just like the Brooklyn Nets, they had four in double digits. Of course, led by Alec Burks, 24 points, four rebounds, and one assist. RJ Barrett contributed with 23 points, seven rebounds, seven assists, 19 points from Obi Toppin, and a double double effort from Jericho Sims with 10 points, 13 rebounds, two assists. And then, of course, you had Emmanuel Quickly, Taj Gibson. Last night, and even Fournier. Last night, of course, Julius Randle was not playing. He didn't play. I wonder would that have made a difference if he had played those 12
Was they
points because
just
he.
resting him, or was he resting, or was he out? It wasn't an injury, was he? They was
I
just
think I'm
resting,
not.
right?
I think he was. Yeah, I think he was resting, or it might have been a minor injury, and which it brings back to what you was talking about when it comes to what Alvin Silver is talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Unless we just simply
Right.
can't went through a couple of games in which key role players wasn't there, and which is a
Mm-hmm.
business at the end of the game. And I understand like
Facts.
resting again, but it's a business. People
It
come to
is.
say these players, how do you
Pay
play in
mad
Madison
money.
Square? Yeah, how do you play in Madison Square Garden with your cross borough team battle and your top stars aren't in the
Not
game?
playing. Right. Facts.
Like that, you
Facts.
know what I'm saying? That could be a detriment to the team and really start to look at, you know what I'm saying, ruin bottom dollars, especially when you look at the fact that the Knicks might not be an organization, might not be a team that's getting into the playoffs. So now you
Facts.
just basically that's the last, well, it's not the last thing, but that's the last of what you've seen is that the they weren't there. And everyone's no one's everyone's looking at it like I paid my money to good money to see this, and this is the product that y'all put out. It's not a good look in my opinion.
Not at all. Not at all. And what's up, Coach? I tell you, good. Appreciate you joining, tuning in,
What's up,
bro.
Coach D?
Yeah, it's definitely not a good look. Like Trey said, a lot of people, we got those, we have those season ticket holders. We have people who are looking to see these pros play against each other in these games between the Knicks and the Nets. Um, you know, it's just it's unfortunate because unless the player's hurt, don't get me wrong, I do understand you do have to get some rest people because they definitely play more games in football. I mean, basketball play more games than football players. You know, baseball play more games than everybody. But you know, so you do want to give them a rest. But certain games you just look for, and like Trey said, if the Knicks are still trying to get into playing, I don't see how you're sitting anyone out. You know what I'm saying? When it's all said and done. But Adam Silver is definitely upset about that. And I'm sure there's a few fans out there that doesn't like the fact that the stars aren't being played or not on the court. They're in street clothes watching the game like the fans themselves, which this can be a bit disturbing to some people because of the fact that they come to see certain people to play, like maybe like a Julius Randle and RJ Barrett and things like that. PG3. I mean, yeah, not a PG. Uh, um, uh, Devin Booker,
Devin Booker.
DeAndre Ayton, yeah, and all of them. People want to see those players play, and you don't see them. It's crazy, you know what I'm saying? You feel some type of way. But either way, it is what it is. We have what 6 games and 5 games tonight. With the
Yeah.
first game being the Orlando Magic. Um, excuse me, excuse me, the Orlando Magic squaring off against the Charlotte Hornets. In Charlotte, they're going down to Charlotte, Carolina, and Orlando 21-59. The Charlotte Hornets 40-39. Orlando, they probably, of course they're not in. So this game really probably doesn't matter to them. But they're going to Charlotte. I'm gonna take the Charlotte Hornets. Trey, who you got in this game between
I
Magic and
I
Hornets?
agree. I think the Hornets bounce back from their loss the other day. I don't think the Magic will win another game this season. As the two
Mm-hmm.
games left. So yeah, I'm rocking with the Hornets as well.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. And then what did I say? We got what is it? It is one,
Seven
two, four,
games.
6, 7 games. 7 games. I'm sorry, I thought it was 6, 7 games. And then one of the biggest games. It's probably 3 big games tonight that you could call games of the night. And this is one of them. It's a 6:30 game, Central Standard Time. We have the Battle of the Greens. The Boston Celtics, who are 50-30 with that bad man in Jason Tatum, but he's traveling to fear the Deer Nation and Milwaukee Bucks, who are 49-30. They're half a game behind the Boston Celtics. So this is a big game for the Celtics and the Milwaukee Bucks. But this game being the Green Machine game, ugh. Trey, I'm gonna let you pick first, bro. Who you got between the
I'm
Celtics
rocking.
and
I'm
the
going to
Bucks?
continue. I'm keeping that energy, bro. I'm rocking with Boston. Let's go,
Ooh,
Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown, Marcus
yeah,
Smart.
yeah.
I
I can
I
see
think
that.
it's a problem. Yeah.
So, so it is hard for me, man. I ain't gonna lie, because I've been rocking with Boston for a minute. Because I said I wasn't gonna bet against Boston, but it's hard when you playing in Milwaukee and you playing that Greek freak, and oh man, uh, and I know this is probably gonna hurt me in the long run, but I'm gonna take the fear of the deer, because
Mm.
only simply because they playing at home. But I wouldn't be surprised if Boston pulls out a dub. But I'm feeling that the Bucks want this win because like I said, I stated the Bucks are a half game behind the Celtics. So I'm gonna take fear of the deer. I'm gonna go with the Bucks. I'm gonna go against Trey and pick the Bucks to get the win at home versus the Celtics. Then we have the Philadelphia 76ers traveling to Toronto to play the Toronto Raptors. Raptors are 46-33, while the Sixers are 49-30. Um, I think the Raptors, in my opinion, Trey, have been a quiet team who has definitely been trying to make some noise in the later parts of this season to try and show that they are not a team to look past. But I feel like Embiid, Harden gonna go down there and do enough to get a win in Toronto. So I'm taking the 76ers over Toronto. Who you got?
So I'm starting to, like I said, I'm with it. We missed it yesterday, of course. Roku Nation, six God in the building. So I am going to stay in Toronto, especially when we take in consideration like there's a due to Canada's protocols and stuff like that, they too are not able to allow players that are unvaccinated to
Vaccinated
play.
play. Mm-hmm.
76ers has of not one a couple of players that are unvaccinated, key players.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that is going to be, of course, a problem. Embiid, of course,
Mm-hmm.
is going to try to do what he can. He's currently up and in the lead when it comes to the scoring title. So, of course, that
Right.
means he gets buckets. But I'm going with Toronto on this one, Bishop.
Okay, he's going against me. I'm going with the 76ers, but you made a key point: the fact that the Toronto um, uh, out there in Toronto, Canada, that they are not allowing players who aren't vaccinated to play. So that is a key point in regards to who will be on the court for the 76ers. Then we have a 7 o'clock game, 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. The Portland Trail Blazers are traveling down to the NOLA to play the New Orleans Pelicans, who are 35 and 44. The Portland Trail Blazers are, of course, still without Dame Time 27-52. This game is in New Orleans. I have to go with the Pelicans and CJ McCollum. The Portland Trail Blazers are who we thought they were. Definitely now CJ is not there. The Portland are coming down to New Orleans to play CJ. CJ is probably going to show out for the Pelicans out there in front of old fans of Portland. So I'm picking the Pelicans. Who do you got, Trey?
No, I agree, hands down. Pelicans, it's going to Trailblazers will come down there, and CJ is going to start to is just going to probably see red, and his
Mm-hmm.
teammates is going to be on the boat with him, or like, I mean, go on that ride with him, and it's probably
Mm-hmm.
going to be a blowout in New Orleans.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Then we have the San Antonio Spurs. Popovich headed out to Minnesota in Big Cat and the Minnesota Timberwolves are 45 and 35. San Antonio Spurs are opposite. They are 34 and 45. This is pretty much, even though the Spurs have kind of been on a streak lately, winning some key games. However, I don't think they have enough to mess with the Big Cat, who is the current 3-point champion.
Uh,
So I'm picking the Minnesota Timberwolves and Big Cat to win at home versus the San Antonio Spurs. Trey, who you going with?
That is no different, Bishop. We are both lock and step on that one.
Okay.
San Antonio, although they have been on a three, or they're on a 3 game winning streak, I think what's going to happen is those Spurs is going to basically fall back in. I mean, correction, the Timberwolves are going to fall back in to what they know that they have this playoff streak. Playoff was about to start. Um, and they're gonna start to pick up to where they left off and what put them in position where they had that hot streak. So I'm rocking with the Timberwolves.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. And then at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, we have the Memphis Grizzlies, who are 55 and 24, traveling out there to Mile High, out there into the Denver area. The Denver Nuggets, who are 47 and 33. You know, you're playing against the Joker. Memphis is still without that bad man, John Morant. This game here is probably the second game of the night in which if I had to choose, this would probably be the second, game of the night. Trey, I'm gonna let you pick first. Who are you picking out of the Memphis Grizzlies and the Denver Nuggets in this game in Denver?
Of course, you're going with the Grizzlies on this one. Even though
Mm,
they're without Ja, as we sit up and talked about, it's I still think they have enough to get it. Jokic, I believe, is going to put on a show at him in himself, but at the end of the day, I think the Grizzlies come out victorious.
and what Trey said is absolutely right. The Memphis Grizzlies have definitely been playing well, even though John has not been in the lineup. I think he's missed the past 7, 8 games, if not more. And they've still been on a win streak. They have lost a few, but they have won a great deal of games without him in the lineup. So I am going to pick. Look at the Joker, man. He is up for MVP. It's a mad race between him, Embiid, the Greek Freak. So the Joker does still have something to prove, trying to take over and get back the lead if he even lost the lead in MVP votes.
Hmm.
But oh, this is a hard one for me. Like I said, this is the second game of the night. My heart says the Grizzlies, but my mind says Nuggets because they playing at home. Ugh. You know what? I'm gonna go with the Nuggets at home. I'm gonna take the Nuggets. Trey took the Grizzlies. I'm gonna take the Nuggets at home. I'm gonna give the Nuggets an opportunity to prove that they can take down a team without one of their key players. So I'm gonna go with the Nuggets. And then the other last game of the night, which I said definitely is a game of the night. Let's see who's going to be on the court. We have the Los Angeles Lakers playing in Golden State. You know what I'm saying? It's an it's an in-state rivalry between two California teams. And, you know
Hmm.
that game is at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, so it's late for us here. The Lakers, who are 31 and 48, going to see going to travel across town for the most part to play the Golden State Warriors, who are 50 and 29. Trey, I'm gonna let you start it off again. I'm pretty sure who you are going to pick, but again, this is one of those games. Who will be on the hardwood floor tonight? We have LeBron, we have Westbrook, we have AKD. I mean AD, or will we see the Splash Brothers, which I know knows? Will we see Iguodala? Will we see any of those people tonight? Trey, we got.
Of course, I would. So this pick is a pick from my heart. What I would like to do, of course, is go with what is obviously evident would be the logical choice in going with the Golden State Warriors. But at this point, I have been
Mm-hmm.
riding with my Lakers since the beginning, in big, good, and good, and bad, and the worst. I'm going to keep that same energy. Now isn't the time to abandon. They're out the play in. They're out the playoffs. They only have 2 games left. What's the sense in using logic at this point? I'm going to go and I'm going to continue to be a fan for the rest of the season. Anything LA, I'm on. I'm with the Lakers, Bishop.
Okay, he's right. He's gonna stay. He's gonna stay loyal and stick with the purple and gold. I'm going the opposite way, and I'm going gold and blue with the Golden State Warriors. As you notice, Trey has on the Golden State colors. So, with that being said, I'm gonna go with the Golden State Warriors and the Splash Brothers. And he's probably gonna burn that shirt, them 2 shirts he got on the day after tonight. Once the Golden State Warriors do what they do and try and get this stuff over the Lakers at home. Mind you, now my question for you, Trey, is
Yes, sir.
words are on the street that LeBron says he wants to play with Stephen Curry. He says he loves everything about Steph Curry and his game, his style of play. Steph laughs off LeBron James wanting to play with him by saying, "I'm good right now." What are your thoughts about that?
So I would say that, of course, I don't know if that would be considered tampering, especially with the season coming out to where it is. I don't know. Is it trying to say LeBron's trying to get into Golden State, or was LeBron trying to bring Steph to LA? When you
Mm-hmm.
look at it, uh, I think it's just one of those things in which Steph is being politically correct as
Mm-hmm.
like I'm good for now. Of course, it's you. I'm a star. You're a star. I'm a star. Um, I I'm not chasing rings. I don't think
Mm,
LeBron's chasing rings. So, but you know, what I'm saying we can play together on an All Star game. We can play together in the Olympics, and that's the extent of it. I don't think it'll be a situation to where we would see LeBron and Steph playing together over the course of an 82 game season. Uh, but I mean, stranger things have happened. But I would hope that LeBron was basically making a pitch to bring Steph to LA. That's what I hope it was. I don't think
mm,
LeBron was trying to go to Golden State.
So you think, yeah, so you think LeBron is trying to get Steph over to the Lakers?
Yes. Yep.
I'm trying to find out Anthony's question um, in regards to if they are playing tonight. Let me
So
make sure.
so Clay no so Clay's playing. If what I see was right, Clay's still playing. Um, Steph is supposed to sit out for the rest of the season
Yeah,
as he
Steph is out.
recovers.
James
Yeah.
Wiseman are out. Steph is out. James Wiseman is out. LeBron left ankle sprain. Russell Westbrook right shoulder soreness, and Anthony Davis right mid foot sprain are questionable. Kendrick Nunn right knee bruise is out. So LeBron, Westbrook, and so the big three are questionable, whereas Kendrick Nunn is out. And for the Warriors, Steph and James Wiseman are out. So the starting lineup for the probable starters lining up for the Golden State Warriors are Wiggins, Green, Looney, Gary Payton II, and Jordan Poole. For the Lakers, we're looking at Malik Monk, Anthony Davis, Dwight Howard, Avery Bradley, and Russell Westbrook. So right now, as of right now, that's projected. They don't have LBJ starting tonight, or it's questionable at this time. So there you have it.
Which yeah, so
I'm not
I
seeing
could
Golden
get
State
them.
letting Steph. I'm not seeing Golden State letting Steph go. Yeah, I don't see that either, Brad. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't see that. He is the franchise right now. LeBron is chasing the ring. He's trying to find a super team. I feel you, AP. I feel you. I feel you. I've been saying that about LeBron, man. I've always said he's a ring chaser, but it
He's
is what
not
it is.
chasing a ring. He
He's
is
a
doing.
ring
He is
chaser,
All he's
dog.
doing, all he's doing is doing what saying Lakers do is create an opportunity to where
Oh,
greatness is ensued. It's not chasing a
here's
ring. That's
here's
not.
Trey's politically correct reason on what
He's
his
not.
version of
He's
ring
not
chasing
chasing it.
is.
He's not chasing the ring. He's doing exactly what we do in LA. We
uh,
create an environment where greatness is displayed, and that's all
mhm.
he's doing. He's
Okay.
he's helping to do his part to create that environment. He did it when
Okay.
he asked Steph to come. Well, not Steph. When he asked Westbrook to come, he has
Mm-hmm.
my he has not Westbrook.
AD,
AD there. He has Carmelo there. I mean, he
Carmelo,
tried it. All he's going to do,
Wiggins.
they're going to go back. Yeah, they're going to go back and they're going to revamp and they're going to come back and they'll be stronger than you as ever. And we'll see. Remember, Phoenix, keep that same energy. Keep that same
This dude is
energy.
salty about Phoenix, boy.
Keep that same
This
energy.
this dude is salty about them Suns, bro. They are salty, bro. Don't be salty, man. It's
We will
okay.
never.
It's okay.
We will never forget.
Not a model. Let go. Let's go.
Yes, we're
Yeah,
gonna sit up and we got you.
We got y'all.
no doubt, no doubt. So moving on over to the football, man. We got some
Yes,
big things
yes.
going on in the football, man. So as you know, a lot of people may have, or if you don't know, the trades and things of that nature. We're coming up on the draft here in a few more weeks, about 2 weeks. The draft is about to start up, I think, the 28th of April. So, there's people out there, players, should I say, there's players out there who are still out there that are looking to be shopped around. One of the main ones is, of course, out of Seattle, DK Metcalf. 7 trade offers for DK Metcalf, but will Seattle accept? So there are 7 offers out there for the wide receiver of DK Metcalf for the Seattle Seahawks that people are looking to get. As I stated yesterday, Seattle Seahawks likely want 2 first rounders for the wide receiver. So Seattle isn't actively shopping DK Metcalf, but there is a price point at which they would at least consider dealing with a star, which I was just speaking of, the 2 first round picks. So my question to you, Trey, is DK Metcalf, which I think you mentioned yesterday. I said I felt like it was either 2 first round picks, or I said a first round and a second round pick at least to even be considered to let DK Metcalf go. Do you feel as though DK is worth 2 first round picks?
At this point, in my opinion, I do not think that DK Metcalf would be worth 2 first round picks. And again, like I stated, I have always thought that in the case of the Seahawks, that Lockett has been more of the problem and more of an issue or more of a sticking point than DK has. DK, saying, is a polarizing, a huge specimen of an individual. But at the end of the day, I think Lockett has been the one that has been putting in the work and doing those things. You got to think at some point DK was having a bad season last year, and the only way the Seahawks were still in it could have been because of saying the lack of a true quarterback, but the only way that the Seahawks were still around was because Lockett was doing was still getting stuff here and there. And the only reason I
Mhm.
know that is because Lockett was on my fantasy team and I was dependent on him, in which DK I had as well, and I traded him. So
Mm.
it just became one of those things in which it was Lockett was more of a producer, in my opinion. Excuse me, was more of a producer in the offense, even when it was the offense was dismal. And I think that you got to take that into consideration. So DK, yes, maybe over. I mean, he's polarizing. He's noticed over time. He's probably going to be a better. Uh, would be better. But I think Lockett is more. You're not going to get two. You're not going to get a first rounder for Lockett, led around two first rounders. But I think you can get a first rounder for DK, or maybe a
Mm.
second round and a third round. But to get two, I think get a one and a two for DK is even pushing it. So to get two number ones, I don't think so. He's not that talent that people are looking at.
Okay. 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 Like I said, I stated yesterday that I felt DK. I don't know. I said maybe two first round picks, and if not two first round, at least a first round and a second round. However, yeah, that right now it has been stated that DK or the Seattle Seahawks are looking for at least two first round picks. Um, for the wide receiver. DK is still young in his grade, so first round I'll do one next year and a third and a second in 2024 or yeah 2024 draft. Okay, Anthony, I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. So he is still young. That is true. That is true. So moving right along, this is definitely for you, Trey. And I don't know if you heard, but I'm sure you have. But this was just last night that this was reported. Debo Samuel has unfollowed the 49ers on Instagram. Is this a problem, Trey? Is there some ruckus going on in the 49ers organization where Debo is unhappy? Does Debo want out of San Francisco? What are your thoughts of DJ unfollowing? And mind you, everyone that's watching, remember Trey was a big guy speaking on Kyler Murray doing the exact same thing for the Arizona Cardinals. So I'd like to hear your point on this now that your own player, who you're highly of, Debo himself, has done the exact same thing.
So I think what it is Debo Samuels is taking a page out of Kyler Murray's to bring some to get the people to talking about it. So I think the reason for him I'm following the 49ers is because that's his reaction to Stephon Diggs getting his
Hey,
extension
get
his
that
yeah
bag.
getting his extension. Yeah. So of course that's what he's doing. I would like to have Debo in the fray, but again, at the end of the day, if you don't want to be around, then you don't want to be around. And we're not I'm not about to sit and we play with it if you want to. And you know what I'm saying? Like I said, when I used to play Madden, and when I had a player that was up for a stitching and I realized I tried to go ahead and cut it off and get the stitching done, if that
Mm-hmm.
player didn't want to sign, hey, you was no longer on my squad. You didn't want to sign, it's cool. You ain't got to sign. I feel you. I traded you so I can get some assets back for you. So and I don't care who you were, what it was, and what you did. Go, you can go. So if we've had talks and the talks are going as much, and you just relent to come to stay and be there, that's telling me you don't want to be a part of the organization, and which I'm fine. I can understand that. So I wanted to be known that saying when you don't want to be a part of this, then that's your quickest way out of town. But it's on your dime, but it's going to be at your expense to better my organization, and that's what it is. So yes, we would like to keep him, but real talk, Anthony. Uh, so and then keep this like so. Anthony says, stop and trade with the BS. You know that Debo was the whole offense. Debo was
Facts.
the whole. Don't
That's
no
not true. That's not that's
no
so you're what you're
no.
saying. That's not a true statement. You don't feel like Debo Samuels was the entire offense? No.
Debo was the whole offense under Mike McDaniels as the OC. Mike McDaniels
Oh,
is in Miami right now.
yeah, yeah. He's
Like
gone.
the offense is probably going to change. So at the
Mm,
end of the day, he was the key to that offense. We don't know who
mm,
we got. We don't have. I don't think they named the OC yet. Unless it's going to be someone that's in the organization already.
mm.
It's a new year.
Who's to
Like, you know
say?
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We're looking at paying you based off your performance and know that what you can be, but we don't know what D was gonna be. The offense might not call for him to be that anymore.
so could he be disgruntled because of that trade? I mean, I understand what you're saying in regards to, of course, Stephon Diggs, but could he be disgruntled or upset or a bit worried or concerned the
About
fact
it
that
probably his it's gonna yeah.
he no
It's
longer
it
has his offensive coordinator that did have him as the key
and it could
player on the
be maybe
offense?
because you
Yeah,
already know summer spring training has started or they doing
right.
the OTAs and it might not be
OTA,
looking
right,
too hot for him right now and
right,
he could be
right,
having
right.
a problem with that. Like this ain't the offense in which you know
Especially
what I'm
being
saying.
that we know whatchamacallit is still what recovering, right? We still know that um
Garoppolo.
Garoppolo was recovering, so that of course that means whatchamacallit is playing the well, I'm assuming is doing the OTAs right now.
Like
Lance,
at this point, bruh, in which you know what I'm saying. As a matter of fact, I won't get to it when we talk about. But at this point, uh, OBJ still out there,
yep,
Landry still out there.
facts.
Like it's people that's out there. Like you know what I'm saying.
DK,
Yeah,
DK, people talking about
DK's being
DK.
shopped. Yeah, like
Yeah,
it's like, bruh, like sometimes you be careful what you wish for.
facts. Oh, here we go. What you say, Anthony? Watch Debo get a contract like here with the Saints. Ooh. So is that what you think? So you're basically feeling as though, Anthony, that Debo is upset because he's seen all the receivers around him get these huge money bags and he has yet to get a bag yet. But is he even up? Like, where is he at on his contract, Debo?
He
He
is.
got
I can tell you. Give me 1 second.
okay. Because I mean, like we've said numerous times, when the whole debacle with Aaron Rodgers, first it started with Aaron Rodgers in the quarterback. It was Aaron Rodgers first, then it was Deshaun Watson and stuff like that. They got the big money bags, and then here comes the wide receivers, with Tyreek Hill and who's the other one? Right after Tyreek Hill got the big contract. It was Tyreek Hill. It was somebody else that did it with Debo. So it's just a lot of receivers. I mean, these players are seeing these money bags being dropped. And
So
left and right, Alvin, I feel you. Go ahead, sir.
So Debo, this is his contract year. He's currently going to make. He's due to make $4 million for roughly $5 million this year
Mm-hmm.
because he's playing his last year of
Still playing on
his
rookie
rookie
contract,
contract. Yeah, so
right?
that's what you'll say. Hence the reason why it's like okay, he should be. But I mean, at this point,
This upcoming year is his last year, so
yeah,
he's just like
2022 is
Kyler
his
Murray,
last year.
basically.
Yeah,
Okay,
2022 is his last year, and he doesn't have a fifth year option. So
okay,
he'll be a unrestricted free agent next year
okay.
if he doesn't get extended this year. He's free to walk. So I mean, you can
So it could be
play.
about the money bag.
It could be about it. Like you can play your five. We owe you $5 million. You show, but now we don't have the same. We need to see you in the system. And I just think like it's contract. So I understand. I fully understand when these players get to talking about. I've outplayed my contract. And Bishop, you know what I found as I was just cleaning off my desk.
Ah, boo! Here he
So
go.
I understand. I understand that you say that you feel like you've outplayed your contract, but at the end of the day, what has happened is we
I see
still
where you're
need
going
you
with
to we need to make sure that the money that we about to give you is legitly deserved and that it wasn't just you're not a one trick pony in a pro in a system that was predicated upon using you. Like you did work, you did exactly what we needed you to do. You showed up, you showed out, you ran the ball, you passed the ball here and there. You caught the ball here and there. Got it. We want to pay you. But if we don't pay you, or if we're sitting up in this is supposed to be the pettiest edition. If you're sitting there and we're trying to give you that money, then it just wait for it. Let us get halfway through the season, see what we're working with. If we got to drop some people, what give us opportunity. If not, if you want to do stuff like unfriend us, okay, you unfriend us. Who cares? Like I wouldn't give a damn. At the end of the day, contract, you're still a part of us. You want to hold out? Okay, hold out. Feel free. So it's just those things. Like I'm not a big purveyor on the stuff like because that same energy, if you aren't performing to tasks in 3 or 4 years, then same energy. Like, do you want me, or do you want to be held on a roster, or do you want to be released? Like and it's unfortunate. It can sound like a double standard because teams, for the most part, hold so much uh, of a player's career in their hands. They could derail them. They could uplift them. I mean, they could elevate them, or they could put them down. And you know, what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, you play to get paid. You once you're getting paid, you perform. At some point, you look out to be getting paid more money and outperform your same contract in which Debo has. But let's keep it 100. Like Debo, you was out the first couple of years with injuries, back and forth, in and out the lineups. You showed out for 2021, and now 2022. You're expecting the idea is like, okay, we drafted you or based off who we thought you was. Now is your opportunity to show and prove. Show that. Like you've only had one standout season. The other one was the season in which you was showing glimpse. The first season you was out. Like let's just keep it 100. No different from what we talked about with Kyler Murray. So that's how I see it. Like definitely we got to take a chill pill for a second. And I think the 49ers are trying to get him his money. We'll find out at some point about his money. But until then, bro, come on. Like keep that same. I keep the same energy just like I talked about Kyler. You're under contract. We're not saying you shouldn't get your money, but let's pump the brakes a bit. You're still under contract. Uh so yeah, that's of course what I look at it. Um yeah, Steve. He's only performed for 1 year for the at the end of the day, in which I need to see some more. And it was just last year. It ain't like you didn't perform. It ain't like you performed the year before that, and then you had a down year. So okay, you know, what I'm saying, well, we know he had a down year, but he still had a good year. Like, no, bro, you showed up just last year. In the first 2 years, you was in and out the lineup. Like, and now you want me to throw 20 million a year at you based off of last year? Nah, hold up for a second. Like we'll see. Just give me a couple of weeks. Uh, so interesting enough, this is what I thought it was. I wish Bishop was on right now so we can discuss this. But yesterday, via an interview, Bruce Arians came on and stated that everyone believes it was him and Tom Brady's greatness that made the machine called the Tampa Bay Buccaneers go. In all honesty, he basically said that it was actually Byron Leftwich. He said that Byron Leftwich should get all the credit, or get more credit, or be credited more when it comes down to uh, the the greatness of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So he basically stated that he believed that Leftwich was going to get the job in in uh, in Jacksonville. He thought that was a done deal, and it ended up not being a done deal. He's currently still in Tampa Bay as an offensive coordinator, but he does feel like sooner or later, presumably sooner, maybe in the 2023 system, is going to be a changing of the guard, and Brian Leftwich should get a head coach position. So I ask y'all, of course, feel free to hit us in the comments. Who do you think is on the hot seat enough to where they will be dropped and Byron Leftwich can possibly get the chance? What coach do you think is going to potentially be out? next year, uh, and allow Byron Leftwich opportunity to um, to take the helm. One that comes right off the top of my head is the Carolina Panthers. I think the Carolina Panthers coach Rule is on the clock, and he might be out next year for as head coach. Let me see if there's anyone else. I would say potentially. I would even possibly throw Pete Carroll. I think Pete Carroll's on the hot seat. But he's going to probably get some leeway due to the fact that he has to try out a new quarterback. Last year he was out his top quarterback. Now he's trying out a new quarterback. But I think Pete Carroll's hot seat is heating up. Who else do we have? Mm. Um, for the most part, everyone else is just hiring coaches, and they're coming in. Bish is back. I'll be able to pose this question to him. Oh, you know what? I wouldn't say everybody. I actually think Rivera's job is probably safe. Um, maybe that. I mean, maybe Mike McCartney. You might be correct. I don't think Saransky's job is in any jeopardy yet. And so, Bishop, one of the things which we was talking about is I was just sharing with them that during the interview, Bruce Arians stated that everyone talks about him and Tom Brady's greatness was the reason for Tampa Bay um, winning that championship and being successful over the last couple of years.
Mhm.
And Bruce Arians basically came back and stated that Byron Leftwich should get the credit. And he should get more credit than what she's given. And so I asked the question, and he said, "But Byron's going to be snatched up soon." In which he's probably going to be actually in the next hiring cycle. So I just posed the question of who do they think is on a hot enough seat to to be
For him to
to
get the position.
give him an opportunity. Yeah, and so I said off the rip that I would think Matt Rule for Carolina. I think
Mhm.
Pete Carroll's seat is heating up, but he's probably gonna get a little reprieve because of the situation
New
with no
additions.
Russell last year, and now he
Yeah.
has new additions. But then Anthony just came on and stated that he believes that every coach in the East is on the hot seat. And
Mm.
that's where you came in. I was like, I don't think Saransky's on the hot seat yet. Maybe McCarthy. I don't think Ron Rivera is either. Um,
Yeah.
I think he's safe.
Yeah.
And then of
I would
course,
agree. Yeah.
and then of course they just got a new coach in New York. So
Right. Right. Yeah. I don't think. Yeah. I don't feel like all the NFC coaches. Yeah, we know Mike McCarthy might, but I think we've talked about in regards to Mike McCarthy, we feel like Sean Payton's probably going to head over to Dallas if Mike McCarthy comes out. But I do agree with Bruce Arians. I do feel like he that what's his name
Brian Leftwich.
Netflix does deserve his flowers and things of that nature because he was a huge contributor of what Tom Brady did in Tampa Bay the past 2 seasons. So yeah, will he make it? Will he debut as a head coach? Who's to know? Who's to say? Hopefully he will, because obviously he knows what he's doing. He might not have been as successful as a quarterback, but he's definitely doing things with the clipboard. So yeah, hopefully we will see Byron Leftwich as somebody in HC somewhere. Um, there are a couple of teams that definitely have some people um, that's probably on the hot seat, including Arizona. I feel like their
Mm.
coaches on the hot seat because of how they started and how they ended their season. So I feel like that's definitely a seat that could be getting lukewarm. Um,
And that's where he
who else?
started out at too.
Yeah, right,
In his
exactly.
coaching as an intern, and he
Yep,
started out there.
right. So yeah, yeah. There's a couple of spots that's available. The ones in which you named, I don't feel like no. I don't. I definitely know the Commanders. No, not yet. I already spoke about McCarthy out of Dallas. New Orleans just already picked up picked up a coach. The Giants picked up a coach. So yeah, it's a handful. Um, who we could see. Yeah, the Jaguars got a new coach. So yeah, we'll see.
So, in other news, Bishop,
Mhm.
one of the so the attorney generals in 6 states have sent a letter to the NFL stating that there's a problem in the NFL basically, and that they need to fix the problem, or else there's going to be an investigation and for legal action to be taken against the NFL. The letter basically outlined its concerns when it comes to gender discrimination. This some of the complaints or the things in which they're seeing wrong is the treating of domestic violence victims, the
Mhm.
hiring and promotion of women, as well as the mishandling of the sexual harassment complaints via the Washington Commanders case. So now you have the six states attorney generals have basically put the NFL on notice and let them know like you have a problem in your cult when it comes to your work culture and y'all need to fix it. Uh, Bishop, do you? I'm not with the whole Me Too movement, although I am very so in support of women in sports and all that type of stuff.
Mhm.
But I don't want it to be a situation where it's like because of a movement, what's right is what's right. Do you think this change or this letter or the letter sent are going to invoke a whole amount of change, or do you think the NFL was already heading towards that? And it's now they're just kind of like being nudged further along.
Um, Good question, man. So I didn't even know that was it was happening actually. To be honest, I had no idea that
For
they were
real,
processing it. That's new to me. I had no clue that was going on. Um, but I mean, I guess it's a bit expected because of how things are going on across the world in regards to you know women being put in position in a lot of different coaching positions in a lot of different sports. Um, I don't see a problem with it. I don't see a problem with it. I feel like that's something that could definitely be um, changed. Will it make a change? I don't know because we're talking about a sport in which we still talked about not too long ago in regards to where we don't have a huge presence of diversity within the sport already. Even on the male side. So now we're talking about adding women as equal to being maybe they're not talking. Well, are they talking about as far as being coaches as well, or are they just talking about
just
the treatment of women?
treatment of women and well and
Oh,
that,
okay.
so not necessarily just coaches, just of course they expanded the Rooney Rule in
Right.
which
I
now
know
they
that.
have added the women into that as well,
Mhm.
especially offensive and position as well as front office. So
Yeah.
now I think they're taking a look at the whole Washington case, and now they've been taking a couple of looks, probably questioning and polling women in the organizations and realizing that there's a couple of things there are some disparaging issues, and now they're trying to handle them.
Okay. Well, if it's just about that, then yeah, I definitely understand that, and I can see that. Hopefully that will. Um, you said they're making. Are they trying to? Are they trying? They're doing taking legal action though, right?
They will take legal actions if they don't fix it.
If they don't. Oh, okay. Will take legal action. Okay. Well then, yeah, they better get on the ball, man, because I see that definitely happening if they don't fix things, and because we've heard so many um, incidents of women being treated unfairly and not being treated with respect. So they better make some changes.
I
They
would
better
say
make some changes. Whole NFL needs an EO. Yeah, maybe so, bro. Maybe so. Just asking, is this hiring women as coaches or black women as coaches? Is this a black thing?
no, sir.
No, I don't. I don't. I don't. No, I don't think so. No.
and
Yeah, I would
specifically,
say.
so
Go ahead.
it's just the basically the quote unquote minority groups, i.e., men or women of color, uh, gender or men or women, to basically be put in situations to where they're given opportunities just as well. And it's
Hmm.
like Alvin just said, it's more of an ego or EEO in that sense, EEO issue, or
Hmm.
where you're talking about these cases and stuff like that. When it comes to the hiring and promoting and stuff like that, like you can have some people, for the most part, as we all know, Pete Carroll spoke out and talked about the hiring aspect of where you have, saying presumably the owners are stalemating and having issues and kind of like blocking stuff from happening because it's not people that look like them.
Right. Right. And then Anthony, or not Anthony, Alvin, to your question, do you think Colin Kaepernick or Cap ever get a chance to play in the NFL again? So I do know just we only what 7 days into April, and I do know around the first, it was a whole bunch of memes popping up on Colin Kaepernick has signed with this team, Colin Kaepernick has signed with that team. And of course, it was April Fools because no one had ever stated that that was what he had truly done. Um, but to be honest with you, Alvin, I really don't think he'll make it back in. I don't. My opinion, I don't see him ever being able to um, play in the NFL again. And it's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate for him because I think he's a good dude. I don't know him personally, but he just seems like a real cool dude. He just believed in something and he stood by it. And unfortunately, it cost him his career. So, in my opinion, no, I don't think he'll make it back in.
I agree. I don't think he's going to get another chance. Um, yeah, it goes to show that that it could be the league could be unforgiving, or people in the league could be unforgiving, and so he's probably not going to get another opportunity. They probably give him all the opportunities to try out, but he's probably not going to really get another
Right,
real shot
right. Yeah,
unless it's
and
just a
then the
dire
trials,
need.
yeah, and the trials are just to kind of like ease everybody off of him to make everybody feel, oh, make people think, oh, he may have a chance. When in actuality, like Trey said, deep down, back in the back of their mind, they know they're not gonna allow him back. What issue is that? What issue is that, Alvin? Why do you think the NFL has this issue, but not NBA? What issue are we speaking of? The women or the
So both of
the
them have a culture, a work culture issue. Because if you even remember, the Dallas Mavericks just recently had to deal with that type of situation, to where
Yep.
now Mark Cuban hired hired a woman to come in to do the investigations and stuff, and some things was found out. So he hired someone to fix the program who happens to be an African American woman. So
Mm-hmm.
it's the NBA has the issues. It's just probably not as rampant as that in the NFL.
That part. That part. And then we know the Spurs, for a long time having a female assistant coach. And then she got a contract to go over and be the NBA head coach. I'm a WNBA head coach, I'm sorry. And a lot of people thought that she was going to be the predecessor of Pop. And she chose to be a head coach over in the WNBA. So it's there. The same issues are there. I don't know if they're more um, no, I was about to say I don't know if it's more being more um, mentioned in the NFL than it is in the NBA. But no, I think it's being mentioned equally. To be honest with you.
So a couple of things that came out yesterday, Bishop. Of course, Patrick Peterson signs a 1 year deal to stay in Miami, Minnesota. So he would be there to continue to probably most likely mentor anyone that comes in, any newer players. Uh, Giovanni Bernard signs a 1 year deal to stay in Tampa Bay. So
Mm-hmm.
he'll be there still with Leonard Fournette and Gio being there. But interesting or not, yesterday during the LSU Pro Day, Derek Stingley Jr. ran the 40. You know what he ran?
Derek Smith.
The
Oh,
corner, the
he at the
cornerback.
pro. The cornerback.
Yeah, he's a corner.
He probably did. He run in. Did he run in the? Did he run in the combine?
No, he didn't even go to the combine because he was injured.
Oh,
But he
so
ran
during season
he ran the
corner,
40 yesterday during his pro day.
I'd say he probably ran a 4.41, 4.42.
4.37.
Woo! What?
Stop it, Anthony. Stop it, Anthony. He's going to.
He's not coming in. He's not coming in the Commanders. He said he didn't like the name. He said, "Gotta keep them. Yeah, Washington football team. He might have came, but he,
Yes, he ran a 4.37.
good lord. Ooh wee. That his draft stock just
Just shot up.
shot up.
He was already perceived as being a pretty good corner
Mm-hmm.
in the while he played, and then to run a 4.37.
Ooh
Mean
wee.
he's going to be able to keep up, if not uh, avoid a receiver running past him.
Yeah.
Some of the
Oh my
top
gosh.
receivers.
Yeah. That's phenomenal. Ooh, 4.37. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, I can't wait to hear about this next month. We're having to see where he go. Definitely, that's crazy.
So I have something for us, Bishop. Let me see. Let me put it back up. So, of course, during we know that there's still some pretty good players that's out and about in the NFL. Um, so I was looking at a article on NFL.com in which one of the writers put together what he called his free agent. Oh, let me see if I can find it again. He put together a free agent. I think I lost it. He had put together a free agent uh team, all free agent team with a bunch of the players that are still available. Can I find it? Let me see. Because I thought this was made for a good conversation. Um, well, it looks like it's gone. I have to find it. I come back to it. But
Okay.
additionally, I have two more things for it. Oh, here you go. Here you go. Here you go. The free agent. He calls it the gray beard squad. Basically, they're
Who's
all
this?
Dan Hazandis, NFL writer. He put together what
Okay.
he's with the best remaining free agents. He put together this squad. So I'm gonna read off the squad. They're all free agents. All of them are free agents. Quarterbacks, two quarterbacks. Ryan Fitzpatrick, age 39, and Geno Smith, age 31. Uh, I mean that's kind of subjective. I don't know. Um, Running back, Jarek McKinnon, who will be 30 in May. David Johnson, who will be 30 in May. Running backs, wide receivers, Odell Beckham, Antonio Brown, Jarvis Landry, Julio Jones.
And these are what players?
All free agents. They're free agents.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Tight ends, Rob Gronkowski and Jared Cook. Offensive lines, left tackle, Dwayne Brown, left guard, Quentin Spain, center, Matt Paredes, right guard, Daryl Williams, right tackle, Eric Fisher. On defense, edge rushers, Melvin Ingram, Justin Houston, Jerry McHughes, and Jason Pierre Paul. Interior defensive linemen, Akeem Hicks, Linval Joseph, Calais Campbell. Oh, of course, and Dominic Sue. Linebackers: AJ Johnson, Deontay Dante Hightower, Anthony Barr. Cornerbacks: Stephon Gilmore, Steven Nelson, Bryce Callahan, Joe Hayden, and Janoris Jenkins. Safeties: Rodney McLeod, Tyrann Matthew. And of course, kicker Sam Ficken, and punter Thomas Morstead. The coaching staff: special teams coach Mike Westhoff, defensive coordinator Vic Fangio, offensive coordinator Adam Gase, and head coach Mike Zimmer. After all that, guess what he perceived their record would be if that was the squad?
What?
10-7.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Free agents. If that was a school. Okay.
Do you think that could be a good score? 10-7 with a Odell Beckham. I mean, with a Fitzpatrick at the helm.
And who are the two receivers?
The receivers, the receiving room would be Julio Jones, Jarvis Landry, Antonio Brown, and Odell Beckham.
Oh, Ryan Fitzpatrick is the quarterback.
Ryan Fitzpatrick is the quarterback.
The Mr. How you like that?
No, Mr. Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick.
No, Fitzpatrick. No, that's not. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's not. I'm sorry.
Fitz
That's
Fitzmagic.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick. Hmm.
I don't know, Anthony. He is still high. So when I
I
look
don't
at
know.
it, it's when I look at it. So when we start to put in position, you probably have McKinnon and Johnson would be running backs definitely.
Hmm.
Currently, Odell Beckham is still injured.
Okay.
What's going on, sis? Good morning, John A.
What's going on, LA? How you doing?
So what that leaves is only your receiving core for the most part would be Antonio Brown, Jarvis Landry, and Julio Jones. That's your receiving core.
See,
Grunk,
Julio. Yeah.
but Fitz will be the starter. But you also have a situation to where Fitz is liable to get hurt, and now you got to go with Geno Smith.
Oof. Oof. Yeah, that part. Ugh. Yeah, that part. I don't know.
Now
That
the
ten
line,
and seven.
the defensive line is going to be fire.
Yeah, 10-7. Yeah. I don't know. That's interesting. Actually, that's very interesting. Hmm. That's very interesting.
Uh, yeah, so that would be interesting. But now it's something I got a couple of things in which we haven't done yet here. The first one being Bishop skill positions. We think of the skill position. And I ask you, Bishop, and then we'll come back with another question after this one, and we're
It
gonna go
is
with
LA. It is a great 501.
what who is currently. I got two-part question. Two-part
Okay.
question. But we'll go with this first part now. Who is your number one quarterback, your best quarterback, receiver, running back, and tight end in the NFL right now? Who do you think
Best
is
wide, best quarterback, best wide receiver, and best running back in
yeah,
the league right now.
your the four skills positions on offense: running back, quarterback, tight end, and wide receiver. Who's your best right now? who you rocking with. If you was like, I'm going to go get my four best, at least one in each spot. Who you picking up? Who's your best?
So okay, so if I'm picking up, for quarterback, I'm gonna go get.
The goat. Look at you. You're disgusting. If you say
It,
if you say this guy, you're disgusting.
no, my quarterback would probably be, to be honest, man. I think my quarterback, to be honest, my quarterback would probably be. It would be out of two people.
Okay.
To be honest, two people.
It's not, I'll just let me sit up because it just got interesting. Okay, I'm listening.
Yeah, it would be out of two people. It would either
Okay.
be Lamar Jackson
Mm.
or Thoroughborough.
How did I know?
Thoroughborough.
How did I
That
know?
would be, yeah. It
I
would be
actually
out of.
thought Thoroughborough was sitting alone.
You actually thought what?
Thoroughborough was sitting alone.
It,
All,
it, it, it was, but then I had to really sit back and think about it. I was like, ugh.
in
Yeah,
which I have two as well. In which
yeah,
I'm going to have to pick from two as well.
yeah.
In which one of
But
them is for me. One of them is Lamar. In which I'm
uh,
going to go with Lamar, but of course the other one that I got to think about is Josh.
yeah, Josh. Yeah, it's hard with the quarterback. It is. It really is. Because in my mind I had Thoroughborough, I had Josh, and then I also had um I ain't gonna lie, I had Matthew. Matthew was in my thought too.
Really?
Yeah, I really thought Matthew. Yeah, because then when it comes down to it, when it comes to receivers, I mean, it's so many, and I only get to pick one.
Hmm.
It's so many. But if I'm getting Thoroughborough, then I definitely got to go with Jamar Chase. Come on,
Really?
them.
You gonna pull his compadre in?
I got to, bro. Their chemistry is unmatched right now. Their chemistry is unmatched. So yeah, but again, it would either be out of him, Cooper Cup, because that's definitely, again, that's why Matthew Stafford was a
What that's
consideration,
got his
because
bag.
that's,
Cooper got Matthew his bag.
yes, yeah, absolutely. So that's another tandem that's mad crazy. Then there was also Tyreek Hill, who I wouldn't mind having as well. Don't get me wrong. And then there's Devontae Adams. Like, come on, like, it's like you can't go wrong with any one of those four receivers. Now my running back, I have to go with John A. Like she said, it would probably be Alvin Kamara for
Really?
me. Yeah, I would think because him, yeah, because for one, I feel like Josh Allen, Nick Chubb, and Adams are going to trap. Oh, and we picking a tight end too? You said.
Yeah, tight end two, four positions, four
So
skill
I'm gonna
positions.
pick. So okay. So then, yeah, Alvin Kamara would be my running back probably, and then my tight end, Mark Andrews. Either
Andrews,
Mark Andrews or Travis Kelce. One of the two.
the
One of
disrespect
them
of
two.
y'all. How dare y'all? I can't believe you guys.
I know you finna say Kerry Kittle. I know you finna not Kerry, but Kittles. I know you finna say Kittle.
So my wide receiver, I'll be correction. My quarterback is going. I'm going Jamal. I mean Lamar. Um, wide receiver, I'm going Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
Tight end, you are so correct. I'm going with George Kittle.
Yeah, knew it.
But the running back, man. So
Yeah,
this is only in the perfect world. My running back, I'm going with C Mac. In a perfect world, I'm going with C Mac.
really.
Yeah, I'm going with Christian McCaffrey in the perfect world. If it wasn't a perfect world, then
Mm-hmm.
I think hands down I'm going with um Dalvin Cook.
Oh, so neither one of us is picking uh Derrick Henry.
So I'm trying to
Really?
stay.
Who was
I'm trying.
about to break? Who was on pace to break
I know,
records
man,
this
but
season before he
I
got hurt?
I know, but it's yeah, I know. So
Derrick Henry, I forgot
it
about Derrick
makes
Henry.
it makes sense for Derek because of course when you load the box, that one receiver
Yeah,
that you went ahead and grabbed is now it's
yeah,
a what I'm saying, has it to where now
yeah.
Cooper Cup or what I'm saying is doing damage. Like you putting
Right,
8 in the box and you
right.
leaving now that means you have to have 1-on-1 like
Yeah,
so, but of course, additionally, also, if you load the box, that makes that Lamar Jackson can't spin.
Right.
Like you make Lamar a one-dimensional quarterback by having Derrick Henry because now you have to account for loading the box.
But this is yeah, and then but in my opinion, excuse me, like I said, like we've stated before, if you got a Lamar Jackson, you don't need a Derrick Henry.
Yes, and
You
that's what
don't
I'm
need it.
saying. Yeah,
Yeah,
true that, true that. Yeah, if you got a Lamar
yeah.
Jackson, you don't need a Derrick Henry because you don't want to
Facts now.
having a Derrick Henry. You're basically making it to where the defenses are going to probably most likely load the box. Now you don't have any run
Facts.
lanes. You don't have any run lanes for Lamar
Right.
because
Facts.
they're filling them to stop Derrick Henry.
Right.
So,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like, you give up one thing for the other. You're going to load the box, but, you know what I'm saying? Or they're going to do a lot of stunts, a lot of masking and stuff like that. But on the opposite side of
Mm-hmm.
the end, you're opening up the lanes, the passing lanes for your quarterback. So, where now you have RPOs and play actions that's going on, in which is like now they have to guard against that. But if you don't
Right.
have a Derrick Henry, but you have a Lamar, they can load the box if they want to, but why? Now you
Yeah.
have, you know, say in my case or in your case, because you said you was looking at Alvin Kamara,
Mm-hmm.
you have receiving quarterback running backs that can go the distance, and if you slide them a slip them a handoff here and there, they can take that too. And now
Right.
you have open lanes at this point, so that you know, say so when you look at that, that comes into play. Um, so, additionally, my next question, in which we haven't done yet, Bishop, I don't know how we missed this.
Mm-hmm.
Who is your Mount Rushmore of football?
Ooh, we
NFL, Mount
all
Rushmore
of
of
all
NFL,
time or current players.
all time, bruh,
Oh my
all time,
God,
all time, all
that's
time.
crazy. All
Let's
time,
go. Yes,
that's crazy. Because see, unlike basketball, it's way
true
different
that.
because of the fact because you
Yes,
got an
yes,
offense and
yes,
a
yes.
defense.
This
Unlike
is even
basketball,
harder.
the same people that's
Four
playing
spot,
offense, yeah, the same people
four
that's playing
spot.
offense is playing defense in basketball. Whereas on football, it's totally different. You got an offense and a defense, so it's definitely
Okay, let's
crazy,
break it down like
more
this. Let's
difficult.
break it down. We'll save overall for another time frame. No, we'll get it in. Sometimes it's between today and tomorrow. We'll get the over. So let's start with the offense. Let me get your Mount Rushmore for
Offensive players.
offensive and your Rushmore for defensive players first.
Okay, now
And
that's more
that might help
yeah,
to narrate to
that
where we
makes
come
more
up with.
sense. Yeah, I was gonna say that makes more sense because I'm good lord. Okay, so offensively, let's see. Barry Sanders definitely got to go
No
there
doubt, I
without
agree.
question. Offensively, Barry Sanders.
I think this is gonna
Yeah,
be another situation where you could probably get your three off as that last one because
yeah,
it's the last
yeah,
spot.
yeah. Barry Sanders
Mm-hmm.
definitely for offense. Barry Sanders, Jerry Rice,
Mm-hmm.
um, Barry Sanders, Jerry Rice. So it's four. So I'm gonna pick four different positions. Okay, so for running back, Barry Sanders. For receiver, Jerry Rice.
Mm-hmm.
For quarterback, I gotta put the GOAT up there, man. There's no way the GOAT doesn't go on Mount Rushmore. Tom GOAT has to go. And then for tight end, ooh, I could go with anybody. I'm gonna have to go with Grubb, man. I'm gonna have to go with Grubb.
So okay, so you went with tight end, wide receiver, quarterback, and running back.
Mm-hmm.
So we have the same. We have the same three for offensively. I agree. The goat, uh, Barry Sanders, of course,
Mm-hmm.
and of course Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna go with a tight end. I'm split between another running back or another receiver.
Okay.
So I think I go with another running back, and my running back is Jim Brown.
Mm. Okay,
So
that's fair.
Jerry Rice, Jerry Rice, Jim Brown, Tom Brady, Barry Sanders. In which
Okay,
my other receiver, which I was looking at, I was about to say T.O. I was about to throw on T.O.
okay,
But
okay.
so
Anthony,
yeah.
we're picking Mount Rushmore of offense and defense NFL. Okay, so Trey, you go first on your defense.
Okay, so defensively, this is a little harder. So defensively, I'm gonna go Reggie White,
Okay,
Deion Sanders,
definitely, without question.
uh, Mike Singletary,
Okay,
man, Lawrence Taylor.
got you. I got you.
And
Mine would be
yeah, go ahead.
Warren Sapp,
Oh, okay.
um, Deion Sanders, Warren Sapp, Deion Sanders. Um, golly, I just had his name. Um, Ray Lewis. Isn't it
One
Ray
more.
Lewis? That's the linebacker, right?
Like yeah, linebacker Ray Lewis. And I
Ray
thought
Lewis.
about him, but then popped in my head. I hadn't set LT, and I had to give the LT.
And then I said Deion Sanders, Warren Sapp, Ray Lewis,
Mm-hmm.
and then my fourth one would be Michael Strahan.
Strahan. That's an interesting one. So okay,
Michael.
let's go ahead with the four with the all time. So I would start off with the all time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dion,
White
Barry.
Sanders, Sean Taylor. Okay, I see you, Anthony. I like it.
So all time,
Uh-huh.
both squads,
Both sides of the ball.
both sides of the ball. Dion,
Mm-hmm.
Barry,
Okay.
the GOAT,
Mm-hmm.
and Jerry Rice.
I can't even compete with that. I'm there with that one. I'm
And
I'm there with that one.
it's so many people
Yeah,
you
I
leaving
can't
off.
compete
It's
with
like
that one.
it's so many
Yeah,
people you leaving off. It's like man, like
it is
bro,
tough,
can you
Freddie.
like it,
It is tough.
yeah, that's what I say. So that's yeah, it's
Yeah,
so many people
I
leaving
can't
off. Like
even I can't even knock you for that one. Every one
so
of
you it's even
each one
great.
of those ones you picked, I would pick.
You gotta even think we leaving off greats like Earl Campbell, uh
We leaving off the
Little.
Roger Starbucks. We leaving off the
Yes.
Terry Bradshaws. We leaving off the Lynn Swans. We leaving
Oh
off the
yes.
we leaving off the Walter Paytons. We leaving
Walter
off the
Payton, Emmett Smiths.
Marshall Falks.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
leaving
It's
off the
like
Marshall Falks, Emmett Smiths, Troy Aikmans. You know what I'm
who
saying? We leaving off the.
and
Come
we
on,
could
bro.
go
We
so
leaving
many
off,
different ways with this.
bro.
Who would be your quarterback Mount Rushmore?
My quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Quarterback from Mount Rushmore would definitely be um, Tom Brady, without
Mm-hmm.
question. Tom Brady, Terry Bradshaw,
Mm-hmm.
Roger Dodger, the
Mm-hmm.
Starlight. And then that fourth one, man, that fourth one could go to a couple of people, man. Good lord. He could either go to Peyton Manning,
Oh, interesting. Okay.
he could go to Peyton, he could actually go to he could go to Peyton, he could go to actually could go to Drew Brees. He said also could go to Troy, because that was the time when Troy was
Troy,
running things out of Dallas.
John
John who?
Elway.
Oh, John. Yep, John Elway for sure. Yep, definitely could go to John. Um,
I think I have mine. I think I have mine.
who's your fourth?
Uh, Tom Brady. in which y'all gotta understand, like Tom Brady has just really in the last 2 or 3 years has entered into my
I
fray
feel
of
you,
like this man is
right?
great.
Oh,
But
I forgot about Terrell Davis.
but
Forgot
I
about
would
him.
I would my for my Mount Rushmore of the quarterbacks would be Tom Brady,
Uh huh.
Joe Montana,
Joe, forgot about Joe. Forgot about Joe. Damn. Yeah.
um, Steve Young. That of course is a
Forgot
bias,
about Steve too.
and then one that say no one pretty really thought about that, but he's there for me, Mike Vick.
Ah, yeah. Mike Vick. Yeah. 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 I can see
I
that
say
too.
Mike Vick to me is my Steph Curry
Yeah.
from the basketball. Like
Yeah.
he,
I can.
saying
Yeah, I can see
I
Mike
mean, we
Vick too.
know there was Randall Cunningham and all of them,
Yeah.
but Mike Vick completely flipped that, smacked it up, flipped it, rubbed it down,
Mhm.
and it.
Oh
So I say,
no.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel.
Yeah. I forgot about Mike Vick too. It's so many. There's so many, bro. Like, the Mount Rushmore ain't the same Mount Rushmore for NBA, bro. It's just way too many. It's way too many. Way
So
too many. Because it's a what, a 64 man roster for the NFL? It is
60,
64 man roster.
63 man roster.
63. Yeah. So yeah.
So I was taking a look as we get ready to get up out of here, and I was taking a look at the USL and these changes. As we know, the USF starts next week with
Mm-hmm.
the first game I think being the is going to be in Alabama. I can't remember the teams. First off, I'll give it in a second. But I took a look at some of of course these rules that they have. Interesting, very interesting about it. So the first one we'll touch on and talk about is the extra point. So of course the extra point in USFL gives you three options. You have three options. You have a 1 point, which is just like anything else, a kick from the 15-yard line. The 2 point conversion is basically uh, the ball being placed at the 2 yard line, and of course you getting the pass or run in. And then additionally, you have an option for a 3 point conversion, which is the ball being placed at the 10-yard line and scoring, crossing the goal for the 10-point-yard line. So that's their three. Of course, the 1 point, 2 point, 3 point conversions, in which if you can potentially score 9 points on a touchdown and a point conversion. Now, what comes in next is very, 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 very interesting. Very interesting. Onside kicks. You have two options for the onside kick. You have the traditional option to where you place the ball on the 25-yard line and you kick it. And if you recover it, saying you recover it is that you recover at the point. The second option, however, is if you choose to go for an onside kick, you can elect to get the ball on your opponent's 33-yard line, or you can elect to get the ball on the 33-yard line, and you have a 4th and 12 in which you have to pick up the first down. So you have to basically you put the ball on the 33-yard line. You have 4th and 12, and if you get the ball and you get that 12 yards, then you continue on from there. You continue with that point. However, if you do not pick up the 4th and 12, the opposing team takes the ball over on turnovers or downs where you failed to pick up the first down. So that's
Mm.
how you work out onside kicks. Is either you get the 12 yards. If you don't get the 12 yards, the ball is down uh, on the 30 in or around the 33-yard line, and they get the ball, take over on downs. So that's overtime. Overtime is basically both teams getting three opportunities, three plays from the 2 yard line to get as many of those three chances of advancing the ball. So what happens is one team to get advance, get a play to score. The other team get a chance, so vice versa, vice versa, vice versa, alternating back and forth. If after those three plays, if the score remains the same, in which they get 2 points for each time they score one of those plays, then it goes to a sudden death after that, in which now it's just who scores after that. So each team gets an opportunity to score 2 points, which amounts to 6 points. If they score, if both teams score, then they go to a sudden death. If one team misses out, then that's the end of the game. Uh, what else? Forward pass in the USFL, the teams both have two opportunities. If you throw a forward pass behind the line of scrimmage, you have an additional opportunity to throw a pass again. So there's two forward passes behind the line of scrimmage. Is an option. Some other rules in which they have the instant replay. Each coach will have a one chance, a one challenge in which the command team is one command post in which all the instant replays go to, and so that way they can make sure that it's streamlined and it's the same consistent call across the board. There's not a bunch of different individuals. You got a team here, a team there, one place in which all the replays go to, and those people will make the determination on the replays. Um, of course, defensive pass interference is basically the penalty will go if it's 15 yards or less, it would be a spot foul. Anything over 15 yards, the offense would get the 15-yard penalty and the replay of the downs. On offensive interference, pass interference, if it doesn't cross the line of scrimmage, there can be no penalty or either offense or defense or passing interference. The rule changes often without an undetermined factor if it goes any punishment. So there's not really an offensive interference for the most part. So it's more so the defensive interference. So out of all those rules, Bishop, which one do you see as being the most intriguing?
Man, I don't remember all them damn rules you just named off. That's a lot of rules you just named off. I don't
I
remember
think
all
the
them
I
rules.
think I think the onside is going to be the most interesting
That one,
one.
yeah, yeah, that one was crazy. That one right there is kind of, I don't know who came up with that, but yeah, that's crazy. So what's the dimensions of the field for them? I know it's
It's
shorter, right?
no, it's the same. It's the same with
It's the same. It's the
yeah,
it's an official
official
same
football field.
everything.
Yeah,
Oh,
yes sir,
oh wow. Okay, okay.
yes
But
sir.
okay, I thought they may have. I thought the dimensions might have been different. Okay. Well, yeah, that's going to be. I expect to see a lot more onside kicks then.
Probably or attempts. So that's who it is. The New Jersey Generals face off against the Birmingham Stallions in Birmingham on uh on the 16th. Tickets $10 a ticket. So if you're in the
That's the
Birmingham
first
area,
game.
yeah, the
Okay.
Stallions versus the New Jersey's Generals versus the Birmingham Stallions.
On the 16th.
16th. Yep,
Okay.
that is the
Okay.
kickoff. So, of course, again, we have come to that time. High speeds. We appreciate y'all rocking with us and sticking
Hold on.
around for information.
Let me do this for Anthony Price real quick.
Oh
I'm gonna
yeah,
make
go
this
ahead, go
real
ahead,
simple.
go
Real
ahead.
simple. 5-1. Allen. Are we talking about Josh Allen? I'm assuming. Is that what I'm assuming he's talking about Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're doing it this way, I'm 5-1. One being the best. 5-1. I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna pick 5 McNabb, 4 Wilson, 3 Allen, 2 Lamar, and 1 Vic.
Ooh. So I agree with the McNabb 5, Wilson 4, Lamar 3, Vic 2, Allen 1.
Ooh, ooh, nice. I like it. All right, like you said, that's our time. Appreciate y'all, Anthony, John A, uh, Freddie, Alvin, all y'all, man. We greatly appreciate y'all once again on this great Thursday, weekend eve to Friday. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Thank y'all for tuning in for the two first one mention. Be sure to check us out every Monday through Friday from 0900 to 1100 hours. For you civilian personnel, that's 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Definitely don't be late. Well, come on here and leave comments. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe, do all that good stuff. If you know someone else who's into sports and may have some questions or want to debate a few things here and there, man, be sure to send them on over and tell them about the show so they can come in and join in on us with us. And anybody that's wanting to join the show or wanting to be a part of the show one of these days throughout the week, let us know, man. We will be happy to have you on the show. And we can talk sports all throughout the show for 2 hours. So with that, Trey, that's all I got, man.
Again, I second
Thanks, Trey.
I second that notion from Bishop. Like you said, please be, saying always feel free to hit us up. We never know, it might be someone which we can bring in and talk about it, bring up, or if you have somebody in which you might not be for the camera, maybe they are. Feel free to hit us up.
Right.
We'll see what we could do, make it happen. So of course, like you said, high speeds. We greatly appreciate y'all coming out and rocking with us. Look forward to see y'all tomorrow, 09. Y'all know Ron Lowe will be back in the building. So you hear his perspective. We gonna hit him off with the last two, which we asked of Rushmore's. If we can hear his, and watch his brain,
Right.
watch his wheels turn, and be back on with the latest and greatest, covering the games from upcoming NBA action. We look forward to see y'all tomorrow. So of course, say at this point, high speeds, we go ahead and allow y'all to go ahead and fall out. We'll see y'all tomorrow. We greatly appreciate y'all rocking with us. See you in the morning.
Cyro 5 Military Fraternity Incorporated in the building.
Incorporated.
Love y'all, man. Y'all have a great Thursday. We'll holler back at y'all. Peace.